right? But
garbage and sanitation worker. No, they want to live in big houses that they see on videos.
You know, my thing is, I thought it was funny because it was the caller that did it, but at the end of the day, it's, hey, when you're a public figure.
That the whole thing makes me sick to my stomach.
You know what I'm saying? 99.9% of the time, I love living in this, country that we're free and we have this freedom of speech. But every now and then,
yeah.
When she
man,
did
listen,
the Trump,
brother, if she could turn back the hands of time, Doc, ain't no Dave Chappelle, I'll tell you that.
And so you need to be put out and put on notice. The hell no.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, y'all. Happy Monday.
Thank you, Pam. Or Gina, Shanae, whoever you are today. Good Monday. Hey, y'all. I ain't seen y'all. Well, it's actually 14 days now. It's funny. People get so excited when you take days off. I don't even want to talk about that. But I wanted to see y'all last Monday. I just want y'all to know that. But somebody said, no. And I said, all right. But it is good to see y'all. It is amazing Monday. And listen, it is so much to talk about. And they're only giving me 58 more minutes to talk about it. So I'm not going to play around. But listen, when y'all come in, say what's up. And you know what? It's Monday. We could use a little change. Is that all right? Well, bring the family on, madam, and we'll get started. We got our old producer back, and ain't no telling what's gonna happen today. Hey, everybody! Listen,
what's
we got
up?
Sister, she in the cave. We got brother, he with the family, and we got Mister with all the money and no job. Tommy ain't got no job, but he got all the money. I tell you. What's up, y'all? Y'all doing all right this Monday?
Yes, sir.
Doing good, brother. How you doing?
Man, listen, I'm gonna find out in about 3 days. 3 days. And you said, well, we're gonna see. Well, I'll talk about it when we get there. But yeah, I for right now, I'm doing all right. I got me a little tea and lemonade in there, and I think they call it. I don't even. Why they call it Arnold Palmer? I don't know.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
This some old white man. He'll say all white men invented something, right? So it's.
They not really invented. They stole it from someone else. That
Well, I'm just, that was tongue concrete. So anyway, y'all, listen, we are excited to see y'all. Everybody's here. When y'all come in, say what's up. But we finna go on and get started, man. When we starting today? Yeah, boys will be boys, and guess what? These boys are proud. They proud of what they did. They proud of their country, and they proud of what they tried to do. But what they ended up with was some charges, and some seditious charges at that. But you know what? I smell a little monopoly here. Y'all remember playing the game Monopoly? Mm-hmm. You really thought you had all that money, but it really wasn't real money because the game closed up. You had all that property, but you ain't got a what grandma say, a pot to piss in. All that, right? These charges really don't sound like charges. It don't sound like them charges them boys be getting when they got their little roach in their ashtray. Them some real charges. You know what I'm saying? And when you got that little ounce in your pocket, them some real charges. This don't really seem like the same kind of charges that they're getting, but they trying to bamboozle us with all this bombardment of these charges. I think this is because they're going to do this prime time January 6th, revealing all of what they got. So now they want to charge these Proud Boys with seditious conspiracy by starting with Enrique Tarrio, I believe that's his name. He was the head of the Proud Boys, him and about 4 other of his conspirators. They've been charged. We can get into what they were doing, but y'all, does this feel real?
It feels like I've been saying from the jump, man. It's just a symbol. It's symbolism, The thing about the seditious conspiracy, and I was reading up on that. It says that it's viewed as a serious but lesser counterpart to treason. So
Yeah.
what's that? So what's that's telling me is that these guys gonna get a slap on the hand, bro. Like we've been saying from the very beginning. I think Devin has been saying it too. It's just a lot of faking and shaking and shucking and jiving, because we already know ain't nothing gonna happen with these cats. They probably get some community service or something.
And listen, this is about the strongest charge anybody's gonna get out of this: seditious conspiracy. So what that means is that they were trying to stop some type of government process from happening. Like you said, it's not treason. Heaven forbid that, right? But again, when you make the rules and you get caught breaking your own rules, well, then what really are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Nobody's going.
There you go.
Right. Yeah. Right. Ain't nobody gonna do nothing to themselves. I mean, Black. What are we looking at here? What is this?
We looking at a dog and pony show that repeats itself. When you look, if you've seen the movie JFK, and whenever you think about a coup, one of the strongest things that came from that movie is how they talked about whenever there's a coup at the highest levels, the people on the winning side, they have to win at all costs. But there has to be a scapegoat. And what we're witnessing is the same thing that happened with the JFK assassination. You know, we're putting on a public dog and pony show, a public display as if something really is going to happen. But all of the perpetrators are on the winning side, and they're not going to compromise each other. So anybody who thinks this is real, you know, the reality of our government as the curtains have been pulled back, especially since this happened, Democrat, Republican, Independent, however you want to play it, they're all on the same side. You know, they all know what's going to happen. The fact that this is happening so long after the fact, the American public, we don't give a damn. You know what I give a damn about? Food prices and gas prices.
Right.
Through the roof.
Exactly.
And so the idea that you want me to tune in prime time to think about what might happen to somebody, and as you mentioned, you know, on a small microeconomic level, my brothers and sisters do more time and they're prosecuted more expeditiously for weed, that I'm supposed to tune in and give a damn about this. Good luck.
Yeah, I think Brittany Griner getting more was that street cred, jail cred than these boys gonna get. I mean, you know, some of the things that they're using as their reasoning for indictment is reason for their indictment is they got in their Facebook groups, their private Facebook groups. Now that's a mess in itself. And so you can see where these boys were so excited about all they accomplished. This is one thing I say, you know, it's better to be thought of as a fool than open your mouth and then we find out that you are one. Because I'm gonna tell you what these fools said. These fools thought that if they could stop it from happening that day, like this was the whole point. January 6th, if they can get to January 7th, then it all would have been invalidated.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, the foolery of people think that y'all mean to tell me that if y'all just go ahead and hold off everything for one day, y'all could have got this done. Man,
public education has failed us, boy.
Listen. Every single one of them were ESLs. Right? All of them rode that little yellow bus. Mama had to come wait to them at the bottom. I mean, man, what these boys? I mean, what we looking at? Ain't Brittany getting more time than they are?
I think it's just stupid. I just think it's an indication of like their culture, because Black people, we have a way of wanting to look out for each other, and when one person get in trouble, then everybody get in trouble. But that particular culture, they will throw people under the bus in a minute, and they have found enough idiots that are dumb enough to say things on Facebook, dumb enough to do things, dumb enough to take charges because they think they're going to get somehow uplifted from it. And the charges, as we know, are fake. I don't believe any of those charges. I think that they like to throw stuff up and out there just to remind people of what's happening so you don't forget. Okay, you're forgetting about the politics and all the racial tension because of the gas and the rent and all that stuff. So they got to throw something at you every now and then to remind you. And in a few months, we'll start talking about it again, and something stupid will pop up again, and there'll be some shooting or massacre or something like that. And it's just, I don't trust none of it. I think there's enough idiots in the world that it's so easy to find enough people to put a battery in their back to make things come up and pop up again. There's a lot of if we could. I don't want to see these Facebook groups and conversations, but I just like to know how stupid people are sometimes because they really are dumb.
So real talk. So let me ask y'all this: are we tired of talking about this? I mean, are we tired of hearing about it? Or do y'all want to move on?
I've been moved on.
I mean, yeah. I mean, again, it's a dog and pony show, like Black said. But another interesting tidbit on this. When it comes to when you do a crime, they always say if you're gonna do dirt, you do it by yourself.
Right.
Okay.
These cats should have did this dirt by themselves because one of the cats is not even named in the indictment because he's cooperating with the government. So he's not even named in his indictment. So what that's telling me is this cat, he sung like a canary and threw these cats under the bus. So that's why Mama always say if you're gonna do dirt, do it.
He the one that had to wear the skirt, so that's probably. So y'all don't never mistreat them because y'all never know how they're gonna. This is what I want to say.
Right.
The only reason I'm tired of this is because this is a dog that's barking. I don't like dogs that bark. I like dogs that bite. If I ever got a dog, I want him not to ever utter a word. But when it's time to put them teeth on something. Get him, Dottie. Right. so
I know that's right.
Yeah, it's just barking.
Yeah.
All y'all doing is barking.
That's right.
If I was gonna see some biting, you know what I'm saying? If this was, well, I ain't even gonna front on them. Again, this is about as much bark as it is with what's the Pirate of the Caribbean? What's his name? Him and the old girl Aquaman. I can't think of it. Johnny and whatever her name is.
Johnny Depp and what's the
Amber Heard. Yeah.
Amber Heard. Yeah.
That's about as much as I see about this. This is an SNL skit, and we just gonna move on. So I'm telling y'all, the only reason the people are tired is because we already seen the end of the movie.
Right.
So we already know what it's gonna be. So there's no anticipation here. This is about a tour guide through Hollywood, and you done rode the bus like 8 times already. So.
And the former president isn't gonna be. He's gonna wash his hands of this, and he's gonna come out of this thing looking clean. So, what's the use? Why waste tax? I mean, why we wasting time doing all this? Come on, let's move on.
It's so funny. Okay, yeah, you're right. I mean, the man told us from the get go, I shoot somebody on 6th Avenue.
He told us that.
So
he told us that exactly.
Listen, he need to go into evangelical preaching because that joke gonna make a whole lot of money.
He got a bunch of idiots.
What? Listen, he'll prophesy to the whole crowd. Doc, listen, you send me $100,000, I'll make sure I pull my pants down and turn around and talk with my booty cheeks. He'll tell them whatever, and they'll just run him that money. Oh man, listen, Trump,
like
if you listening, Doc.
Right, you're right. Like he did with that Trump University. He didn't scam them people with that fake diploma they got from Trump University. So yeah, he's a cornball. He's a knucklehead.
Listen, there's no Trump. I said it here first. Start your first Trump church. Man, listen, you'll become a real billionaire. I may come listen. You can get. Listen, you'll make so much money, but that's neither here nor there. And then you can still. Okay, all right. I was gonna start messing.
All right, here we go.
I know, yes. Okay, I'm sorry. It's been 14 days, y'all. I'm sorry. I got a little foolishness in me. All right, let's move on. What's next, man? What we got? Oh, more money, more problems. Y'all remember that movie? Damon Wayans?
Sir.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
That was good, man. Well, listen, he bald-headed, but he ain't Damon Wayans. It's 54-year-old man. His name was, what was his name? I can't even think of the man's name. It'll come to me as I'm talking. But there was a 54-year-old man that won the lottery. That's amazing in itself, right?
I wish that would have been me.
Yeah, man, but millionaire overnight. Right? Yeah. But here's the problem. Once a fool, always a fool. He got caught up with a homie, right? Oh, thank you. Michael Hill. That sounds like a good jail name. Michael Hill. Well, Michael Hill won a lottery ticket for some millions, but that fool got locked up for life. Man, we gotta talk about this, y'all. How stupid can you be to all of a sudden you the most luckiest person in the world, and now you got the worst luck? What kind of food? I mean, sister, can this really be, or is this gonna be a Lifetime movie? The man who made millions and never spent a dime of it.
I don't know. He reminded me of a fool that we gonna bring up later that couldn't get no attention until he had some money. A girl wouldn't even look halfway sideways at him before he won the lottery. And he probably, you know what I'm saying, when he was in his 20s, he probably couldn't get nobody to look at him that was less than 300 pounds and had an education. So then he got some money and he thought he was gonna go back and relive those days when he wanted what he wanted. But no disrespect, but I think someone in like a man in your 50s to think a 20-year-old woman just wants you because she loves you for your good conversation is just dumb. I mean, let's be real. And plus, you're not gonna have as much in common. And I hate to say this as a female, but if you want to just get with a 20-something-year-old, you could have paid her, got with her, and went on by.
Just give her a tithe.
Because there's a good chance that her baby daddy, Laquan, that she really wanted before she met you, is still waiting in the background and hollering at her, and she giving your money to Laquan. So he deserved everything that came to him, and I hope he was itching too when he went in there.
Oh, listen at her. Okay. So,
so
let me bring some clarity to what sister talking about. So my man, he ultimately won $10 million, right, a few years ago, and he cheated on his wife.
Okay.
Right, and he cheated on his wife with, like she said, a 23-year-old young lady. And so the problem is that when he like, you right. Why you gotta go talk to? I mean, there's so many Asians, Africans, Europeans, Russians that would have took all your money and gave you so many happy endings. Why would you want to do that? I mean, okay, so he wins the money, and then now they find his wife dead. He shoots her, and now he's locked up. I can only imagine how much he got left. I mean, Black, what you taking, the money or the problem?
Definitely taking the money for sure.
Yeah.
Since we're talking about sayings, my mom used to say, "A fool and his money is soon departed."
Yes, sir.
And that's what we see in here.
That's normally in death, though, right?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
I know a lot of fools. And it's easy to depart them from their money, male and female. Having said that, what this tells me though? It's one of those situations where how you hear the saying, you could take a person out of the ghetto, but you can't take the ghetto out of the person.
My goodness.
A dumbass is just a dumbass.
Yes, sir.
And money doesn't change that. You know what I'm saying? And so even with all of this good fortune coming his way, this is just a clear dumbass who, no matter what, was going to do dumb-ish. I'm trying to be good, Brother Ken.
All right.
To do dumb stuff. And just the fact that all it meant now is that he could do dumb-ish at a higher level. And this is just stupidity at the highest level. Because, yes, if you got that kind of money, oh, my God, you dumb fool. You know what I'm saying? You got money now, so you can get as many 23-year-olds as you want and everything else. But this is just stupid on a whole nother level.
Right. So I misspoke. He didn't kill his wife. He killed the girl. And am I getting that wrong?
No.
Yeah, he killed. He
texting her boyfriend or texting some dude.
That's right.
Oh, so he killed the 23-year-old that he was cheating on his wife with because she was texting another dude. Now it all makes sense. Okay, Laquan. He was texting Laquan, and you saw that.
Okay, go ahead, run with it, Kenny. Yeah.
Okay, see, now my sister Devin, now it all makes sense. First of all, I want to hit that first bullet point Devin said too. I'm 53 years old, and I know good and God doggone well, 23-year-old ain't trying to get and catch me. I gotta have something to entice her. I gotta give her some crab legs and something.
Oh,
She ain't trying to holler at me just
I'm
because.
glad you put them legs on there. I didn't know where you was
No.
going.
See, there you go. See? Hey, we got to mute your mic, Brent. There you
Okay.
go.
I'm gone. My bad. Sorry. It's been
But-
14 days.
But he done went in the bushes. But again, I have to. I mean, come on. My family just explained it. Stupid is as stupid does, brother. You just want, bro. You just won $10 million. Come on, player. You know. Well, I've heard. I did never partake in this. I know you could have got on Backpage, brother, and you could have found you some little 23-year-old Backpage. So I've heard. Never did do that, but I've heard that.
Those
So
are the ones I got.
Anyway, I'm not messing with you, Black.
I tell you,
But
you better
anyway,
I tell you.
hey, but anyway, this brother, hey man, he deserved to be thrown under the jail because he just dumb.
Man.
It is what it is.
Yeah, and you know who's sitting back looking pretty?
His wife.
Sister. What?
Mhm.
What?
Yeah.
Now she can bring
Yeah.
her boyfriend out, and they can go on a
Right.
cruise. They can go to
Right.
Bahamas, to
Right.
Jamaica, everywhere. Man, listen, you talking about a
Yeah.
happily ever after. Man, anyway, that's a good BET late night story. Y'all go and create that. I want to watch that show. That's Tyler Perry probably.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. He didn't get a happy ending, but his wife definitely got a happy ending.
That's it. And she swears she'll go see him every year and say, "Hey,
Oh,
look, this your
Right.
stepson." It's your stepdaughter.
Right.
Okay, I'm tripping.
Mm.
Yikes. So I'm just saying, listen, more money, more problems. You seen it here. It's just that simple. And that's all we got to say about that. So y'all listen, keep your money close. But well,
And keep your sense though, but keep your common sense. Well, you know, common sense ain't common, so my bad. Never mind.
No, it ain't coming. All right. Well, okay. Here it is, ma'am. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I'll introduce to some and present to others, Mr. Kenny Sportsman Henderson.
Thanks for that beautiful introduction, brother Brenton.
You're
How
welcome,
are everybody doing? Did everybody enjoy the Memorial Day? Everybody do anything special? Anybody?
I learned you're not supposed to say Happy Memorial Day.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I learned that too. I guess I said it, but I didn't mean to.
Well,
but yeah, you're right.
Ultimately, it's like we're mourning, so why should there be a happy memorial? Just
right.
Memorial.
Right.
I don't even know what to say.
No, you're right. They say you not. You just say, I don't know. Just celebrate Memorial Day. But why you celebrate that too? Because it's still somber. You know, you thinking of those that've given their lives. So, well, anyway. I ain't say neither one of them. I ate a couple of hot links and some chicken, and that was about it. So there you have it. But the reason why I'm bringing up Memorial Day, San Francisco Giants manager Gabe Kapler, he decided that he was going to, from here on out, protest the national anthem, which means that he would not come out the dugout when the national anthem is being played because he doesn't like the direction of the country. He just doesn't. Until if he feels better about it, he's gonna protest the national anthem. Now, the reason why he's doing this, the shooting in Uvalde, Texas, where 19 students and 2 teachers were killed, was the reasoning behind it. And he also wrote an 800-word blog on his blog post about just his feelings about this country, about the gun control issues and the mass shootings and this and that. So this is how he wants to protest. In his way. Obviously, I got a problem with it. When Colin Kaepernick protested, everybody dang near lost their mind, but nobody said nothing about him. But that's a whole nother show. But I want to get my family's take on protesting. I'm at the point where I think protesting is a waste of time. There's no change, and I get it. I think it's just symbolic. Has protesting even really brought about change? And what do you guys think about Kapler, who is white, by the way, just to let y'all know, deciding to protest the national anthem? I'm going to start with you, Miss Devin. What you think about this?
I don't know. I'm kind of over it. I think it's kind of silly. And I kind of think it's a little silly that he hasn't been fired, like similar to, Kaepernick, or released, or like whatever, because, at first I was all impressed by all the protesting at the sports events, and because it brought all this attention and recognition to it. But then after a while, I started thinking like, kind of like, what's the point? You know, saying don't lose your job and your check. You know what I'm saying, for attention, because to me, there's so many other ways you can protest and get your point across other than that 2 minutes during the national anthem, because it doesn't always turn into something positive. So I don't really get his purpose at this point, and I don't really trust it. I almost feel like now a lot of people do it for attention-seeking reasons, because you can just sit there and mind your own business, or like I do, so people don't do that. You know, I just stand there and look at folks, and I don't actually participate, and nobody cares. I don't have to sit Indian style on the ground and make a scene so people can pull out their cell phones or start reporting on stuff. So I just feel like some people do this, they have different agendas that we don't know about, or he knows that it's not a consequence of it. So I don't know. I think it's silly at this point.
Yeah, I do too. Brother Black, your thoughts on it?
Well, I agree with Sister Devin 1,000%. And I like the point that you make about asking the question. The most important question is, does it matter? Is it effective? And it's no longer effective. The same way the Me Too movement, the ideology behind it is good. I get it. But what they created with it was they made real victims ineffective, because now you can retroactively go back so many years and everybody is a victim. So it hurt real victims in this same way that now we protest when we don't like anything. You know, I don't want to wear a mask, protest. You know what I'm saying? I don't like the trucks coming down the streets. I don't like the potholes in my street, protest. So now everything is about protesting, when it's truly taken the bite and substance away from what it was intended to do. We all sitting on this show as African Americans, we have the few rights that we have right now as a result of real protests that affected real change. But that's when people were at a time where they were able to mobilize for a common cause and truly make a difference and hit the bottom line. But we're just protesting just for the hell of it now. And we're not even going to talk about the fact that, as you mentioned, that he's able to protest in the same way Colin Kaepernick did and didn't receive the same treatment. But my thing is, their real change, if it's not going to come from the top, then you know what the definition of insanity is? Doing the same thing, the same way, and expecting different results. And as we said already in the first segment, there'll be another shooting. There'll be another a natural disaster. There's way too many things going on that's going to move us away from this, so it won't stay on the front pages to be any national dialogue. And so it's completely ineffective. And so if you're not going to take this to the top where people can truly make decisions, and we already see the students withstanding, the NRA ain't going nowhere. The politicians aren't moving anywhere. They're going to talk about it. Well, let me see, let me think, and this and that. Same old, same old.
I agree. I agree, Brother Black. And Brother Brenton, you know, since he's decided this, we've had what, like 4 mass shootings since. We've had Chattanooga, we've had Philadelphia. I think it's a couple of others that I can't think off the top of my head.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah, okay, yeah, Philly. So,
yeah.
Brother Brent, I mean, what you think, man? You think protesting? What is it? Is it a good thing, or what? I mean, why do it?
Oh, well, okay. So I just want to take 2 steps back, if I can. Number one, for the sake of what we were protesting back in the 60s, I mean, it's watered down now, right? This ain't nothing but Kool-Aid with no sugar. It just ain't hitting right. Number 2, the reality is, you know, of course, we're not going to talk about the elephant in the room. I mean, the white elephant in the room. There's no need to talk about that part. That's why Colin couldn't get it done, because he was half white. You gotta be whole, white boy. You gotta be whole, son. If you're gonna get it done,
Good
right?
point.
But here's the mass casualty, if I can use that as a pun. The definition of mass shooting is 4 or more people getting shot at one time. Something that just happened just now, somewhere.
Right.
And if I wait another 2 minutes, it happened somewhere else. Mm-hmm. The problem is that it's the cup of tea today. It's the food for thought today right now. I mean, four people just got shot in the hood.
Right.
I mean, that's normal. This ain't nothing new. I mean, where were y'all at in the 90s? When the gangs was really hot, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you was gonna see that at least breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You're gonna see mass shootings. So for us to pretend as though all of a sudden now that it's a problem. No, it's a problem because it's coming to your neck of the woods. See, it ain't a problem as long as it's somewhere else where nobody's filming and the camera crew don't want to make it down there because it's too far. I mean, y'all, come on. That a mass shooting we're playing on words. So the protest is watered down. The reasoning is watered down because again, this is a dog with no bite.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. I'm gonna tell you the most appalling thing, and where I will always now take this position. Like there will never be anything that will happen as it relates to gun violence, because I always had a reason for why the people on Capitol Hill. I said, well, this needs to happen. Then they'll act. When they came to their doorstep and they went into their building and they wanted to kill them, and that still didn't change your mind.
Yeah, right.
That is a level of delusion.
Right.
Listen, I don't know if the NRA if they passing out them cars that you see at Vegas when they throwing you them cars. I don't know what's in that money that they're getting. But whatever it is, listen, it got a hold on them so tight. It's nothing. If you don't even care about your own life,
right?
I sure know you don't care about mine. So
right, exactly.
It's hopeless.
Right.
It's over. It's a wrap. There will never be gun laws until every single one of them are dead and gone. But if you living in Florida under DeSantis, he is gerrymandering those lines so bad, he'll stay in office till his grandkids get out of college.
Right. Yep.
It's that bad, man. So that's how I feel. It's just it ain't. It's all pretend. We all should just pack up and go to Neverland with Peter Pan.
Right. It's all pretend, and just and then. I'm gonna toss it back to you, Brenton. Scalise, I don't know if y'all remember that the senator that was shot at the
softball game.
Yeah, he was on Fox News, and the anchor was really trying to put him on the spot, and telling him, so you don't think there should be bigger teeth in these gun laws? And basically, this guy said that I don't think so. I just think you shouldn't be worried about. I don't think people's constitutional rights should be taken away. And when I watched that, the first thing I wish that anchor would have asked him. So you're saying a person's constitutional right is more important than a life? Is that what you're saying, Congressman? I wish he would have asked him that. And he took the bullet. He still could care less about gun control. So, man, I mean, it's nothing going to happen. I mean, we're going to continue to see this. And I just think that it's interesting that we got sports. You want to not stand for the national anthem. First of all, I could care less about the national anthem anyway. I don't know why everybody is so in love with it, but that's a whole nother story, too. So we'll see what Capitol does with this. He actually took the day off on Memorial Day, and he actually did come out for the national anthem because he felt like it would be a disservice if he did. I'm like, okay, you got 1 foot in and 1 foot out. Okay, all right, there you go. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, that's my sports segment. Back to you, Brother Brenton.
Oh man, listen, I just want to say, man, listen, the boy took the bullet, and he still said, "Nah, man, listen, man, y'all, this is beyond ridiculous at this moment." I'm here to tell you that okay, I don't want to beat that dead horse, but all it is that the reality of all this and these guns is these boys saw that these guns are going to give them the power that they need. The more power you have, the more fear you put in the heart of that person you have that gun in front of. See, it's a lot. Men are weak now. They don't want to fight no more, right? They just want to pick. So if you got a gun, they want a bigger gun. I mean, y'all remember Bugs Bunny and Yosemite Sam? When one had a gun, he go get a bigger gun. He got a bigger gun, they go get a bigger gun. And this is what it is, man. It's fear. They don't want to lose the power of the vote. Of the power in the Senate or the Congress. They don't want to lose the power that if you come up to them and you being aggressive, well, I mean, it's an ideology, y'all, and they don't want that. They don't want that taken from them, because once you take their guns and you take their money and you take their power, I mean, what do you have left? Little Mario, without the mushroom. I mean,
yeah, there you have it.
So, that's just it, man. They don't want to. Again, what do you do when you don't have something? You overcompensate. This is their overcompensation. This is the reality. Yep. So,
all right,
man. What we got next? Barbie's coming out. I said I was gonna stop these gay stories, but
well, it is Gay Pride Month.
Well, Black always talk about how organic we are. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, halfway through the year. Well, let's talk about it. Listen, Laverne Cox. No pun intended. Right. This is that she's got a line now with Barbie. Congratulations, number one. Number two, who knows the difference? Like, the only thing I want to ask is there? What's up, man? Good to see you.
What's up, Aaron?
What's going on, Aaron?
I just have this question. How are we gonna know that she is a he? Did y'all put something underneath the skirt? I don't want to know what y'all doing. We already got our first black Barbie, and that was like in the 90s, right? So what did y'all do different? Did y'all detach the little A cups? Did y'all take them? I mean, or did y'all give them like Legos? How are we gonna know? So that's my only issue. What is what is this? This is just the black Barbie. How did you? I mean, Kenny, help me out. I think I'm drowning here, but I mean,
hey, man, you drowning, bro. You drowning. Hey, all I remember is I know the Ken doll. He ain't had no genitalia anyway, so they both, So what's the difference? Yeah, I don't know what's. Hey, man, I don't know, bro. I let Brother Black handle this one.
Well, wait. No, I'll let him go. Last sister, how are we gonna identify Laverne from Shirley? I don't know.
Before we unleash the beast, let me say neutral. I think her getting a Barbie is similar to a lot of other celebrities getting a Barbie. I mean, because you have gymnasts like Simone Biles and Beyonce and a lot of other people like get a Barbie. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think it goes anywhere except for when people like collect Barbie dolls for whatever reason. But as far as like kids, unless you're like a big Beyonce like fan, no one really cares. So most celebrities, or a lot of celebrities, I say, do get a Barbie. And I think that because it's Pride Month, they had to choose someone who was feminine enough and happens to be transsexual or gay or whatever, transgender, whatever she is, to get a Barbie. So I don't really think it's that big a deal. I just think that they, just like with the Juneteenth ice cream, I just think they wanted to capitalize off of Pride Month, and Mattel saw it as saw it fit to do it by creating a Barbie from someone who's transgender to try to make money off of it because it's Pride Month. And I don't really put much merit to it because you wouldn't even know. So unless you're transgender or something like that, those to me are the people who would buy the Barbie, because they would want the first Barbie from someone who happens to be transgender, and it'll be like a collector's item for some of those individuals. Like I see RuPaul buying the Barbie, but we don't care nothing about the Barbie. Our kids don't know who Laverne Cox is, so I don't think it really matters. There's no genitalia. It looks like a female. It's really not that big a deal to me.
I agree with my dad. It's just the perception, and it's the dog barking. That's all this is, y'all. It's like you're not going to get anything beyond that box. Those kids throw those boxes in the trash, and that dog's gonna sit next to Beyonce, Simone Biles, and it's just another Barbie. I mean,
it really is.
Black, there's an expectation here. You got something?
I wish I didn't feel the way I feel. And this is nothing against my alphabet people. In honor of Pride Month, I truly love you and respect you. I promise. But of course, I do have problems with it. Oh my God. You know, the thing of it is, yes, it's symbolic and it is perception. And unless they lift the skirt and it does have a cox underneath there, then, you know, I would get it. But here's my problem with it, though. For me, it's the indoctrination starting at the young age.
Yeah.
That's the problem that I have with it. And I'm sorry if that offends people, but the fact that it's being projected onto a toy, when for me, if as a parent, if I had a little child, that's a conversation I want to have with my kids on my own.
Yes, sir.
And once again, I have a problem with you're forcing this down my throat. And I just said this earlier today. How is it that the gay agenda, and I'm sorry, that's what I want to call it, that on January 5th, Martin Luther King Day, you guys get to celebrate and swing from trees. Then here we got this June is Pride Month based on Stonewall revolt in New York City, and it's Pride Month recognized universally. But guess what? Right here in Atlanta, the gay black capital of the world, they celebrate their Pride Month in October, even though in July or 4th, there'll be events for gay people.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, we got Labor Day. That'll be major events for gay people.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, you got Pride Month in October. How in the hell did you alphabet people tell us the secret that y'all are able to get so many events in one year when we as just regular African Americans still fighting for our civil rights, we get a measly month, the shortest month in the year, and then we're forgotten about? How is it you guys have leapfrogged and moved ahead and it's being stuffed down our throats? I defend your right to have all, you have the right to be as unhappy as the rest of us. But I do have a problem with symbolically you want to project this onto a toy so that we can start as early as possible indoctrinating our children that it's okay for a woman to have a dick, and it is not. Biology does matter. I'm sorry.
It does.
Yeah.
And that wasn't even his final thought.
Right. That was.
It
and
wasn't
you know,
even his segment. Go ahead.
and you know what's funny? Today, I actually ran across a story. The Carolina Panthers just announced that they just got their first transgender cheerleader that will be with the Carolina Panthers. That story just dropped today. So how interesting.
All right. I'll have a moment of silence for that. And what we have next, man? That's all I got. That's all I got. I mean, anything I say after that point, it just like somebody's gonna dislike me. So I just don't say that. Just move on, right? Thank you, Laverne Cox, and all the. Now, when we gonna do the trans man? That's what I want to see next. You know, maybe the person that lost that match in the Olympics lifting. Maybe we can get him or her. But, oh, y'all, listen. This has become my favorite segment today because I know what she finna talk about, and I can't wait. Ma'am, whose business have you got in this week?
Man, I really was doing good. I've been really busy the last couple of weeks preparing for graduation. I had a ton of family that I love. I hate to say it, but I'm glad they're gone. It's too much, y'all. It's too much.
Okay.
It's too much. And so, of course, then I'm just scrolling, and I look up and I see Mr. John Gray. Oh, I'm sorry. Pastor John Gray, who recently got in trouble not too long ago for cheating. Apparently didn't find another side chick, but this time it's all cyber. He got a woman that he just talked to, and she pleasures him over the phone, but he says he's going to move her, to Atlanta, and he sends her cash apps, and she somehow pleasures him from many moons away, many miles away. And now he's posting like subliminal messages about how awesome and how wonderful his wife is. And I know we're going to have people say, pastor's just a man, but I actually want to hear, before I say what I think, I actually want to hear what you fellas think about Mr. John Gray getting his hand caught in the cookie jar, sort of, once again. And I actually want to hear what Black has to say first.
Well, I'm not surprised at all.
Yeah,
I promise you, I'm not surprised. I'm more disappointed, just to be honest with you. You know, I already have a low opinion of most ministers, because I don't think most of them have the true calling anyway, and have a lot of disdain for most ministers. There's some out there that I truly believe maybe, trying to do the right thing. And my thing has always been, if you're living that life, live it, and live up to it. But it's a heavy responsibility, but from what I've seen from organized religion, this is not surprised that he got his hand caught in the cookie jar. I myself used to be a preacher. Getting holes through the word was always easy, and I actually enjoyed doing it myself. Sundays was my greatest day to cheat. Give a little bit to God and the rest of me, I'm all for it. Having said that, I'm more disappointed with what he's doing. Cyber sex and virtual pleasing? You damn fool. That's what you getting out of it? If you got the gift of the gab, and what the hell are you doing? Rubbing yourself, while you on Zoom camera and then cash apping? I'm disappointed in you, sir. There's many holes that you can visit and preach to and get everything you want to. You don't have to cyber, you damn fool. I'm just disappointed in the damn fool.
It's the wrong denomination, Black.
Just saying.
Oh my gosh.
He didn't have your stable.
He did really good. He did really good. Ken, do you think that a man of the cloth should be held to a different standard than just a regular smuggler Joe at Walmart?
I do. I mean, I do, because they in a position to really influence women, and that's a heavy calling to you to be playing with God too, not as well as you playing with yourself, but you playing with God. Literally. I definitely think they should be held to a higher standard. And here's this thing with John Gray. I don't want to see no more video. Speaking to you, sir, I'm gonna speak to John Gray. If you watch this, I don't want to see no more videos on you crying, asking for forgiveness. I let you down. You got your wife and your kids out here looking like a plumb fools, man. First of all, either you're gonna stay and you're gonna be with your wife, or you're gonna leave and you go ahead and do what you do, get you some cyber sex or whatever. And if people continue to follow this cat, listening to him, y'all crazy too. I'm gonna hold y'all. I'm gonna look at y'all side eye too, members of his church. If y'all keep putting up with this nonsense, y'all crazy too. But anyway, so that's what I think.
Brenton, do you think he deserves a pass? Because he's just a man, and he's a human. Only Jesus is without sin.
Lee says it like this: fairs for the pigs, passes are for the amusement parks, not for the church. And that's unnecessary. But again, this is not something new. He's just really an idiot, because 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah, right, Brenton.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is for me. It's. I mean, I'm trying to be real careful how I say this.
No, don't be careful. Go ahead.
Well, I'm just, because the thing is, well, okay, you should just let Trump have your church, and then you just go be a politician. That way you can get forgiveness in the streets, and let Trump just do what he do in the church. I just think y'all, they do wife swap. Won't y'all just do swap? Let him do the church. He can have your wife and whatever. You can have Melania. I don't know what you want, boy. But the reality is, I had a homeboy, and I'm going to tell you just like this, and I'll leave it at that. He said something one time. He said, listen, don't let your gift take you somewhere your character can't keep you. And his character clearly cannot keep him in the position that his gift put him in. And that's about as nice as I'm going to be about that, because although he may do well, he was a comedian, I understand, and he did other things in entertainment. I think you do yourself a disservice. Listen, I'd rather you play a preacher on TV than trying to play one in church. So let's do that, bro. You know what I'm saying? Beyond that, because there was a moment where David had an accountability partner, and he was trying to tell David about something that he did. And he said, dude, you do God a disservice because you give him a black eye because of what you're doing. And what John is doing, as he's counterproductive, if I can say that. Because while you're trying to tell people about this good God, well, good God, man, you keep giving him a black eye. So I just rather you put the mantle down and just go run for office. That way they'll just keep it quiet, right? They do all things over there. Let the dude in the wheelchair tell it. They offer you crack and orgies. So you might fit right in, brother. So I just think, man, his character could not keep him where his gift brought him. So that's me in a nutshell. Right. And I'm being nice.
I feel you.
Yeah. She said everybody's gift should have oversight. Amen to that. Okay. Amen to that.
Okay, well, I
think this is gonna be the worst one.
It's really not. I just think he's trash. I think Jamal's Pride trash. I think the people who follow them are stupid. You dumb as a box of rocks. You're an idiot. You're gonna drink the Kool-Aid one day and you're not gonna wake up. I want the
Jim
person
Jones.
who teaches me something to be a perfectionist of it. I don't want my surgeon to have failed out of medical school. I don't want my algebra teacher to not have even her GED. If you are a pastor, you should be held to a certain standard, the standard that you are teaching. And if you know you are not capable of keeping your tiny ping in your pants, because I know it's tiny, everything about him tell me he got a tiny ping. It's probably an innie, and that's why he found a cyber woman so she won't put him out there. I know he got a tiny ping, and nobody went nowhere near him earlier. But if you know you can't keep your tiny ping in your pants, don't be a pastor. Go out and figure out a way to earn you some money. Write a book about being a hoe. And then all the women will come to your aid to try to comfort you for being this way. But quit using the cloth as a way to manipulate and get over women. I've been seeing this my whole life, even from the small town that I've been at, sitting at the church, and the pastor got his wife here and his whole other family and kids are over here. And people just sitting there stupid, crying, letting them lay hands on them and all. They're just dumb. If you don't question things in the church that you go to and the pastor, and you don't have expectations, you'll fall for anything. You need to follow Trump. That's what you need to do, because you act just like Trump supporters if you think that this is okay for this man to be doing this and it's normal. But that's John Gray. He can do whatever he wants to do. But I just think he needs to go on Jenny Craig, write a book, and get out of the church. I can't stand him. I can't. If he wasn't so manipulative and every time he do something wrong, he buy a wife his car and cry and everybody say he just a man, only God is without sin. And I just think whoever say that, you just dumb. You dumb. Because I can commit a sin, but I'm not telling you not to commit a sin. You know what I'm saying? If I go fist fight my neighbor, which I'm thinking about it because I can't stand Karen, I'm not going to tell you better not cuss your neighbor out, because then I'm a hypocrite. That's all I'm saying. So I'm going to need him to do better, and I'm going to need him to get out of the church. There you go. Good old narcissist. But anyway, that's me getting in John Gray's business, and I don't want to get in it no more. I'm going to need him to do better, and I'm going to need his wife to leave him. Back to you, Brother Brenton.
And that wasn't her fault either, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, shout out to that ping pong paddle, because that's what he looked like, a big ping pong paddle. Them little skinny legs and that big old belly. He just, I want to play ping pong. I mean, and again, and listen, I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna just slide in one little joke. The incompetence of a man that does something like that, you can tell that because he know his legs skinny and he still got the nerve to wear skinny jeans. It's like, why would you expose your legs like that, dude?
He look like SpongeBob SquarePants.
I'm judging because a real man can't get them skinny jeans up and around there. That's all.
You know what? All right.
right. That's right.
Well, I mean, I don't see no lie there, sis. I hear you because you got the pants on that tight, man. You can't walk
That's
good.
right.
You got to do some adjusting.
Right.
Anyway.
Yeah,
All right.
man.
Well, shout out to John, Little John.
Yeah, Little John.
Little John. Yeah. All right. What we got? Oh man, we just came by. We can't get a good story this week, can we? And we ain't even had a feel good. Well, I mean, not including John, but a feel good story, right? We ain't had a feel good.
No, we ain't had one. You right.
I'm sorry.
Nope.
Well, I apologize. I can only report what's in the news, so excuse me. All right, so listen, y'all remember? Well, did y'all ever watch Sweetie Pie?
Oh,
Y'all
I
ever
did
ate there before?
religiously. Yes.
Did you?
No, I haven't.
I have not.
I haven't eaten there either. He was trying to get to Houston, but I guess they had a problem. But
No, they did end up go. They did go to Houston, but they
Did
ended
they
up
go?
closing it. I think.
Yeah, it didn't last long.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
No, it did.
Yeah. So listen, Sweetie Pie and her son Tim. Y'all remember? Man, it's been like a few years, right?
Yeah, it's been like 6 years now.
Yeah.
6, 7. Yeah.
So apparently now they've come to an end. They've got a confession from a gentleman. What was his name? I think his name was Hill something, but it'll come up here. Yeah, Travell Anthony Hill. He was 30 years old. Man, Tim gave this dude. Now this is really shady and scandalous to me, but it's ridiculous now because, you know what the world really has to offer as far as life and just the gutters, and then the very high living. People don't really believe that these things really happen. I mean, Tim is this is pretty low, bro. This is his like nephew, and he killed him.
Yeah, it was his nephew.
Yeah, man. Dude paid this dude $5,000, man. You really have to have a low IQ to want to kill somebody for $5,000. Like, man, you could get that on just mess with a chick that got 4 kids. Wait till income tax comes. You at least get that. You know what I'm saying? Or a healthy white woman that just needs attention. She get you that. You know what I'm saying? But they, the dude started singing. He told him, listen, Tim. So the whole plot was Tim got this girl to take the nephew somewhere, and this dude killed him. Matter of fact, I think he gave the girl $10,000. You know what I'm saying? To lure her to this place. And it all came out, man. And the only reason I wanted to talk about this was because just the scandalousness of it all, man. These people had money. I don't know what this dude did to him. I can speculate because the only time a man want to keep his secret quiet is when it's going to expose him of something that the world doesn't know.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna be honest, man. I've seen this story before. Well, okay, I don't get in that because I don't want to tell somebody's business, but it just looks eerie to me. He already looked a little funny, you know what I'm saying? And I just wonder if something was about to go down that, so I don't know, ma'am, what's your take on this story?
It makes me sad. I think this kind of overshadows who his mom was. I mean, for those who didn't know, his mom used to be like an Ikeette. And she just seemed like one of those people who had kind of a good soul. And I just felt like it took away from her legacy and who she was. And I hate that she protected him and kind of coddled him the way she did, as us Black women do. Yeah. And so she also got judged for it. But Tim and his hips, because he had more hips than me, y'all. I am not joking.
He was real bad.
For a long, long time, because not only was he dirty and a con artist, but he also was allegedly abusive to the lady he married and had kids by, and he was just a dirty individual all around. So anybody who would do their mom and their family dirty like that for a few dollars, I'm side eyeing you too, and what's really going on with you. And I kind of side eye men with the hips like that anyway, because I just wondering like what is that about? I don't know. It makes me sad because I just think she has so much more to offer with her story and her legacy than it being overshadowed by this foolishness.
Yeah. Black.
I honestly didn't know anything about this story. I never look at the topics that's coming up for the show because I want to be experiencing it the very first time organically. So I'm actually going to do a little bit of looking into this when the show ends. But it just hearing the details about it, because I don't know who any of these people are. This is one that got by me, but it's sad that in this day and age, if that's the case, that you didn't want a secret to come out, because that makes sense to me, but we just did a story on Barbie. We live in a world now where nobody cares about that anymore. That's not going to ruin your career. You might get a little bit of chiding for it. Bobby Valentino got caught right here in Atlanta, a couple of years ago with, he, she, or whatever, went away, big deal. But, it speaks to the heinous nature of people, though, that you would go to that extreme, over whatever reason it was. And again, if this is a family member, but it also tells you that sometimes the people that's closest to you, even family members, are people you really need to keep an eye on as well, because those are the people sometimes that could do you the most harm.
Yep. And see, we did a segment on the show about people keeping quiet about family members doing bad stuff to other family members, man. And this is the epitome of that moment. Everybody spending that money, everybody enjoying that fame, and nobody wants to talk about the problems. You know what I'm saying? That dude was young. He was in his 20s.
Wow. Yeah, he was. I think it was like 20. He had just graduated from high school. I want to say maybe 2 years before. Yeah, so he's like 20. Yeah.
Go ahead, Candace. I mean, what's your take on this, bro?
I'll be honest. I can tell you, I watched Welcome to Sweetie Pies. I watched every season because I just loved. I love. Obviously, her name was Robbie Montgomery. Just like Devin said, she was a former backup singer for the Ikettes. So if you watch the show, I saw signs of Tim being shady. Just over the time. He would do little things. He would go behind his mother's back, opening businesses without her consent, doing some financial dealings behind her back without her consent. So I wasn't shocked at his level of doing something dirty. I was shocked and saddened that he would hire someone to kill his own nephew, which was his brother's son, who was murdered as well. For you to do that, and then to take out before the murder of his
that insurance, bro,
$450,000 life insurance policy to try to cash in on, and then they caught that cat he was in cahoots with. So it really is sad. It's sad to see that Miss Robbie one of her sons was murdered. Her nephew was murdered by her only living son. Think about what she's dealing with. Now, does she support Tim? I think she's still supporting him while he's incarcerated. It's just it's just sad, man. It's sad. And just like Black said, I think one thing about it showed me that just because they family don't mean they family. Just because they blood don't mean they family. So you really sometimes have to watch your family members that's closest to you more so than anybody else. So yeah, it's just sad, man. And yeah, Tim, he built bad. He got bad hips. I don't know what's wrong there. Yeah, he built bad. So yeah.
He looked like he was a lineman on offense and got that crack back and got flipped and messed up with that.
And he was a convicted felon. He had already did some time.
That's exactly right. He sure was. Well, all right, man. Maybe a real talk for real man can just dive a little deeper into just dysfunctional rich families in the Black community.
Good topic.
Man, you talk about more money, more problems, brother. That's a lot of problems right there. So, all right, y'all. It's time for y'all favorite segment of the show. Lee Black, holler at him for a second. What you talking about today? Infected with. And he didn't put eggs back there, so okay.
I'll let you about this. So this show, organically as always, we've talked a lot about tricks and hoes, and of course, I'm not above Backpage and hunting these hoes down in these streets. But this is not the type of crabs that I am talking about today. Okay. We've all heard the expression "crabs in the barrel," and we know that is a quote colloquialism for how sometimes when you're wanting to do better. And people are holding you down. Now, anybody who knows me, you might not know that seafood is my favorite food. In fact, I buy crabs pretty much every weekend. Snow crabs, and I love blue crab. And if you never bought blue crabs, they actually come in a barrel. And you go to the store and you're using your tongue. And the thing about getting a crab out of a barrel is when you're trying to get the one you want, all the other crabs are holding him down so much so that they will tear the claws off of this crab before they let him go. You actually have to take the tongues and beat their claws off to get what you want. Why is this appropriate? I've been out of work here for a few weeks now and doing fantastic. And I was looking for an apartment. And without going through all of that, I needed the assistance, of somebody to basically represent that I was still with the company because I had to produce bank statements and a couple of check stubs, as you all know. And so they needed proof of employment, and all they really wanted was an email to come from my former company saying, hey, you represent. And one of my former coworkers, as our people always do, family would tell us, I got you. Anything you need, I'm in your corner. I'm my brother's keeper. Well, let me sit here to tell you that sometimes we as family, we're our own worst enemies. We want to talk about white people, and appropriately so. They do a lot of shady shit, as we talk about on this show. But I got to tell you guys my own personal experience, not just in this instance, but in general. Do you know who came to my aid? White people. Since I've been unemployed, you know who's reached out to me on LinkedIn? My white counterparts. Connecting, feeding me job interviews. I've turned down jobs last week paying $60,000 a year. You know why? Because I had my white coworkers saying, there's something better. I got you. I got white people right now who's redone my resume, doing cover letters for me, and are telling me, with your skill set, I'm literally holding out because I firmly believe I'm going to get the six-figure job that I have. And this is all with the assistance of my white counterparts. Because I'm going to tell you something about white people. Even though they may not always do things shady, they don't F up their money. They don't F up their reputation. And in my own personal experience, as Cat Williams talked about in his routine one time, when they help, they go all out. It is us in many cases that back up like a 18-wheeler truck when you come to them for help and aid. Let me see, let me check, and I'll think about it. And if I have my ear to the street, but you know what? You can't stop progress. What's made for you is made for you, and vice versa. Just today, before we came on this show at 6:30 p.m., I got approved for that apartment. Better than this apartment I'm living in. It was meant for me. And so for my fam out there, the ones that supposedly have our backs and just let me know, you know what? I don't even gonna waste the spit to curse you. I'm just gonna say that I have been infected with crabs and now I'm free. And I will never climb back in that barrel. Because you know what the barrel gets you? Nipsey Hussle, Young Dolph, they made it out the barrel. And yet they wanted to stay so close to keep it real, and it cost them their lives. Well, I'm a lot smarter than that crab that got his arms tore off just to be free. My wings are free and I'm flying high. God bless you, fam.
Come on, Tina Turner.
All right.
Yes, sir.
That's what's up.
Yeah. It's always somebody trying to walk in the back door over here.
What's up, little man?
What's up?
Right.
What's up, young king? Already.
Yeah, we talking about crabs, and here goes Spider-Man. Knock over my stuff. You gonna knock over the background, boy. Man, listen, this has been a fantastic show. So appropriate, brother Lee. Thank you, man, for always giving us that pick me up while putting somebody else in their place, and we sure appreciate you. You know,
exactly.
Kenny like the crabs, Black like the crabs.
Wait a minute.
And Devin don't like shrimps.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Where you going with this? Pump your brakes, bro.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We just seafood. You know, we just seafood people.
Okay, got
So listen, y'all, been a great show, y'all. I appreciate y'all so much. Again, I missed y'all last week, but so glad we was able to put it in. That's why I gave 9 minutes over. But listen, y'all, it is final thoughts time, and I got something to say, and I want to say it. But we will start with our brother Kenny. Brother Kenny, give me your final thoughts, brother.
Man, it's good being back with you, fam. I'm glad everybody's doing well. I got to say congratulations to my brother Lee Black, man.
Yeah.
Congratulations to you, brother.
Yeah.
Keep your head up and keep moving, pushing forward. Hopefully They say if you in the neighborhood, blessings gonna come. You just gotta stay in the neighborhood. So I gotta stay in your neighborhood, brother Black. So I'm trying to get me some of them blessings come my way as well. But my final thoughts is it's really nothing about the show. I think this one flew under the radar. This is Black History Month. Black Music History Month.
Oh,
And you
I'm
know,
gonna say, man,
my
I'm out
bad.
the loop.
Yeah, this is Black Music History Month. So I want everybody to find something that's nostalgic, that's Black music, and just listen to something that puts you in a good spirit. And let's come back next Monday and talk about it. I already know where I'm going with mine. So I want my fam to listen to some good old Black music. It's Black Music History Month, and let's come back and talk about it next Monday. That's my final thoughts.
All right, listen. Nobody can talk about R. Kelly but Lee. So just else, go somewhere else. Don't talk about nobody else talk about R. Kelly but Lee. All right. Yeah, thank you, sir. Yeah, I will say Lee Black is an anomaly. Nobody gets an apartment and ain't getting no check.
Hey, you right about that, brother.
I'm telling you. So you must really got something that's listen. I see why the ladies come see you, Doc, because you can listen. You got them hands of gold.
He getting another high rise now.
What?
We be at the Red Roof Inn.
It's a nicer apartment than this one, and this is a gorgeous apartment. I don't understand it.
Well, come on, George Jefferson, move on.
Yeah, brother Black. You ain't paying $40. You ain't paying no $40, did you?
No, not in this one because the leasing agent, he was a fagale, but I sure flirted my ass off. I sure flirted my ass off.
All right. Let's move on to Devin's final thoughts, please. Oh my goodness. Oh my God, Devin, give us your final thoughts before we get off this air.
Okay, well, first of all, I've actually been listening, oddly enough, to the Commodores and Donny Hathaway all day because them folks been stressing me out, and that's what I listen to when I want to calm down is Commodores and Donny Hathaway. I don't know why, it makes no sense, and a little Isless. But anyway, what I want to say is I kind of jumped hard down on the throats of some of them trash pastors, and they still trash. Don't get me wrong. But I do think there's one or two decent ones sprinkled in there. Just, try to use your best judgment. And I just want Black people to start considering the fact that in Black neighborhoods, the schools are absolute trash. But there's a church on every block. Make it make sense. You get government funding for these churches. Can we put some of that into our school system and things like that? And the reason why that is, if you don't know, is because religion is a cash cow, and a lot of that is just manipulation. You know what I'm saying? So just be smart and do know that a lot of people in the church, they do love God, but some of them are just being manipulated by the person teaching it to them. And just start asking questions and paying attention to your surroundings and quit accepting bad from people who should not be doing bad. That's all.
Well, Sister Devin, I'm gonna tell you something. Just you put as much faith as you do in that as you do in these gun laws because that ain't happening. Sorrow, that ain't happening. Yeah, it's the greatest Ponzi scheme of all time. So yeah. All right. Thank you, man, for that, brother Lee Black. We don't.
Mine's real quick, and it's on I can't help but be positive, about just where I'm at this place. And for mine, it's about family. We use that term loosely. And I'm so grateful that when I say family, that extends beyond the biological. I am truly, truly blessed to call you three family. And so I don't use that term loosely, but my family is also an extension of people, that I've worked with that has treated me, and I treat them the way based on the content of their character. So, and that includes white faces. That includes whatever race, culture. And so I just invite people to embrace people who truly mean you well. At this stage of my life, I have no time for negativity whatsoever. And as I said, what's meant for you is meant for you. And I'm a firm believer in that. And I'm just grateful that I've always been blessed and because of how I treat people. And I hope my blessings continue. And so when I come on this platform and I offend, just realize I'm an equal opportunity offender because I talk about everybody. And I give anybody that praise that deserve it. And so in this case, my so-called, some of us who want to claim family, you're not family, you're imposters, but I also wish you well too.
Yes, sir. Thank you for that, Brother Black. Appreciate that. And since we've been talking about church, if my son will stop walking around my studio before he knocks something over, they tell you in church, go sit down while the preacher's up. I mean, you know, anyway, okay. It's live TV, Lord. All right. So, yes. All right. So, listen, y'all. Again, fantastic show. My final thought is I got a question for you guys. Y'all know how I am. What's your advice, or what advice would you give to someone who stands on their own 2 feet, strongly behind something they believe in? And what if they were trying to swing for the fences to get that very thing accomplished? What advice would you give them? Brother Kenny?
Good luck.
Okay, I appreciate that. Black, what advice would you give somebody?
Hey, keep doing it. Bravo.
Okay. All right. Yep, ma'am. Somebody stand on their own 2 feet. They very passionate, and listen, they trying to get it done. And I'm telling you, they trying to hit a home run with this thing. What kind of advice you gonna give?
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Miss 100% of the shots you don't. I love that one. I think I'm gonna finish with that. All right, ma'am. Let's take a look at what. No, put them to the side for me. I need everybody to see their reactions. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right. Well, let's see what advice we could give this person that's attempting to do this moment for us, and I'll give you mine.
Bless her heart.
There's so many things wrong with that. Number one, I don't know if that was a Laverne Cox. Number two,
she has some strong legs.
She was built for the moment, right? But there's a problem. This is Devin said you don't get 100% of everything. But I'm gonna tell you one more thing. There's always one winner in any fight you ever try to come up against, and that's that ground. It ain't lost yet.
It ain't lost yet.
It ain't lost yet. Right?
Right.
But in the words of a good black leader, listen, if at first you don't succeed, just keep on trying, but make sure you get a Band-Aid for that chin, because that thing just took your butt on out of him. So, all I'm saying, y'all, listen, try all you can, but just know that ground gonna win every single time. Every time.
Every time.
Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Kenny, that's Devin, and that's Lee Black, and we'll see you guys on Monday. Peace.
Peace.